Ambassador Velthor had witnessed the rise and fall of 17 civilizations in his 4 centuries of service to the Galactic Council. He had negotiated peace between species who breathed methane and those who exhaled plasma. He had watched worlds burn and others bloom under the careful guidance of Council wisdom. But never in all his years had he seen what the humans called quiet anger. The Council chamber fell silent as the human delegation entered. Commander Sarah Chen walked with measured steps, her face an unreadable mask. Behind her, 3 other humans followed, their expressions equally controlled. Velthor's sensory organs detected elevated stress hormones, accelerated cardiovascular activity, and the peculiar electromagnetic signatures that human brains produced under extreme emotional duress. They were furious. "Commander Chen," High Arbiter Zixel began, his crystalline voice echoing through the chamber. "We have reviewed your petition regarding the Draxian incursion into the Tau Ceti system. The Council has decided to do nothing," Sarah interrupted, her voice soft as a whisper but sharp as a blade. As always, a collective gasp rippled through the assembled delegates. No one interrupted the High Arbiter. It simply wasn't done. "The Draxians destroyed the colony," Sarah continued, her hands clenched at her sides. 300,000 souls, children, families, scientists who were there to terraform a barren rock into a garden world. "And your council speaks of acceptable losses and strategic patience." Velthor had been assigned as the human liaison precisely because he understood them better than most. Or so he had thought. In the 3 years since humanity had joined the Galactic Council, he had observed their curious nature, their laughter, their inefficiency, their bizarre attachment to concepts like hope and compassion. He had found them oddly endearing, like children playing at galactic politics, but now he realized he had missed something fundamental. "Commander, please understand," Zixel attempted. "No." The word cut like a kinetic round through atmosphere. "You understand. We came to you with open hands. We shared our culture, our technology, our friendship. We followed your rules, respected your customs, trusted your justice." Sarah's voice never rose above conversational volume, yet somehow it filled the entire chamber. "And when we needed you most, you abandoned us to bureaucracy." The Draxian delegate, a massive creature of chitin and spite, chittered in amusement. "The humans complain like hatchlings." "This is the way of the cosmos. The strong expand, the weak." He never finished the sentence. Sarah's gaze shifted to him, and Velthor watched in fascination as the Draxian swagger evaporated. For the first time in his long life, Velthor truly understood what humans meant when they said someone had murder in their eyes. "The weak," Sarah said quietly, "adapt." She turned back to the council. "We came here today not to beg for your help. We came to inform you of our withdrawal from the council, effective immediately." The chamber erupted in chaos. Delegates shouted over each other, demanding explanations, threatening sanctions, predicting doom. Through it all, Sarah stood motionless, waiting for the storm to pass. When silence finally returned, High Arbiter Zixel spoke with barely concealed disdain. "And what will you do, humans? Your fleet is modest. Your worlds are few. Without council protection, you will be consumed within a cycle." Sarah's lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. "We're going to remind the universe of something it seems to have forgotten." "And what is that?" Velthor asked, unable to help himself. "That humans are very, very good at being angry." 3 months later, Velthor stood aboard his personal vessel, watching the tactical display with growing horror and awe. The Draxian Empire, which had dominated this sector for millennia, was collapsing, not through some grand fleet action or overwhelming force, but through something far more terrifying: human ingenuity weaponized by cold fury. The humans had struck the Draxian logistics networks first, using malware so sophisticated that it had taken the Draxians weeks to even realize they were infected. Supply convoys began arriving at wrong destinations. Military communications degraded into white noise. Banking systems reported impossible transactions that destroyed their economy. Then came the kinetic strikes. Humans didn't waste energy on plasma weapons or exotic matter. They simply accelerated chunks of iron to relativistic speeds and let physics do the rest. Draxian military installations vanished in flashes of converted mass energy. But the truly horrifying part was the precision. Human targeting was surgical. They didn't bombard planets or commit genocide. They destroyed only military assets, leaving civilian populations untouched but thoroughly terrified. The message was clear. We could kill you all, but we choose not to. Be grateful for our mercy. When Draxian leadership finally sued for peace, they found themselves negotiating not with the Galactic Council, but directly with humanity. The terms were harsh but fair. Reparations for Tau Ceti, complete withdrawal from human space, and an acknowledgement of war crimes. The Draxians accepted within hours. Velthor requested an audience with Commander Chen aboard the human flagship Indomitable Will. She received him in her ready room, looking older than she had 3 months ago, tired in a way that spoke of sleepless nights and hard decisions. "Ambassador," she greeted him. "Have you come to threaten us on behalf of the Council?" "No," Velthor said honestly. "I have come to understand." Sarah studied him for a long moment, then gestured to a chair. "Understanding is dangerous, Ambassador. Are you sure you want it? I must know. Your people seem so gentle. How did you become this?" Sarah poured 2 glasses of amber liquid. Whiskey, Velthor believed it was called. "We've always been this, Ambassador. Every human carries within them the capacity for extraordinary violence. We just choose most of the time not to use it. We build societies based on cooperation because we know what happens when we don't." She took a sip. "But when you take from us what we love, when you force us to become what we've spent millennia trying to rise above, well, you meet the thing we've been running from since we climbed down from the trees. The Council fears you now," Velthor admitted. "Good," Sarah said without hesitation. "Let them fear us. Let the universe know that humans prefer peace, but we're exceptionally skilled at war. Maybe next time someone is dying, the Council will remember that doing nothing has consequences." She stood and walked to the viewport, gazing out at the stars. "We're not proud of what we did, Ambassador, but we're not ashamed either. We protected our own, and we did it with a fraction of the brutality that the civilized galaxy accepts as normal." Velthor joined her at the viewport. "What will you do now?" "We'll rebuild Tau Ceti, we'll mourn our dead, and we'll remember that when we asked for justice we were told to be patient." Sarah's reflection in the viewport showed eyes that had seen too much. "The universe trembles when humans get angry, Ambassador. Help us make sure it never has to tremble again." As Velthor departed the Indomitable Will, he filed his report to the Council. His conclusion was simple. Humanity should never be provoked again. Not out of weakness, but out of wisdom, because the humans had taught the galaxy a lesson as old as Earth itself, that the truly dangerous ones are not those who seek war, but those who have learned to master their capacity for it, and humanity, he now knew, had become masters indeed.